things I'll tell my parents: we love you. We are grateful for the opportunity you've given us to even live comfortably. But you have to understand that the adults of tomorrow are being shaped right now in the conversations you have, the patience you show, and the conversations you choose to ignore. Also, growth is not only academic. A lot of African parents, Nigerian parents, we have this mindset that I should just send my children to school and all. But growth is self-awareness, is in communication, is in emotional intelligence, and that's the platform that Edgenexus provides.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Edgenexus podcast. This is a space that helps young individuals discover who they are, why they matter, and live lives of purpose and impact on earth. My name is Kelvin Owanabasi, and I am joined by three amazing members of Edgenexus today. We have Joanne, Edidiong, and Keneda Rambum. And today we just want to dive deeper into what Edgenexus is all about, why it matters, and how it helps young people to move from confusion to clarity. So if you're a young person listening to this podcast right now, or you're a parent that has a child that needs to hear this, we know that this conversation is going to be for you. So before we go deeper into the conversation today, I just want to take a moment to talk a bit about what Edgenexus is all about. Looking at it, I cannot even really talk about my full experience at Edgenexus without talking about the topic of gratitude. Yeah. Because gratitude is something that has been taught over and over and over to everyone that identifies with Edgenexus. And I really, really, really want to say a big thank you from the bottom of my heart to our coaches who have really put in the time, the effort, the work to make sure that we become the people that we are today, and we are on the right track to become the people that God has created us to be tomorrow. So I just want to say a big thank you to Coach Jude, Coach Nonye, Coach Claire, Coach Regina, and most especially our head coach, Coach Aaron Solomon. It's really a privilege working with him, and he really gives us the opportunity to lead.
Yeah. That's very true, Kelvin, because I can recall when I was working on a particular project. I think that was when I was in, is it SS3 or SS2? And then Coach Aaron told me, Edidiong, I can remember his words. He was like, do you want to do something that will just last now? And then later in the future, it just eludes like that. And I was like, that question caught me off guard. I was like, okay. He's someone that's very, very intentional about your growth. Once he sees your potential, not even seeing your potential, once he sees you, he believes that, yes, you have the potential in you. And even if you've not discovered it, he will help you with that.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very true something. Because personally, if Coach Aaron could sit down and invest in my lateness skills, it would be, oh my God. And he works on your slacks and helps you to pick up from where you're stopping from. I had a particular experience with him where I had some issues, and I actually avoided him because of the issues, and he just came to me. I had to summon courage to go to his gym, and he was like, that's an attitude of a good leader. It shows that you are learning. It shows that you're evolving. You don't just, it shows that you've owned up to your responsibility and you're growing. So thank you, Coach Aaron, and all our other coaches too.
Coach Aaron has been a very present coach. He doesn't only coach us in Edgenexus, but he coaches me in my personal life too, giving me advices. I could go to his DM anytime and any day, knowing that I'm going to come out rejuvenated and with more knowledge on how to go through life. So yes.
We all have personal experiences with Coach Aaron, individually and mutually. Yeah. And I just want to say that Edgenexus is a product of Coach Aaron Solomon, and we would not be here if it were not for him. So if you're a young person listening to this podcast and you're looking for direction in life, or you're a parent that has a child like that, we know that this conversation right here is going to be for you. So before I move further into the conversation, I'd want to take a moment to talk a bit about what Edgenexus actually is all about. So Edgenexus simply is a self-education platform that helps young individuals to discover why they were made and live lives of purpose and impact on earth. It's a platform that helps young individuals to become all they were truly created to be. And it was founded by Coach Aaron Solomon, with one core mission in mind, and that mission was to bridge the gap between the traditional education sectors and real-world demands. While we know that schools and the traditional education sector does an excellent job to teach young individuals academic knowledge, we still find these young people asking themselves questions at times like, who am I, why am I here, and what value can I offer to the world? Edgenexus exists to help answer those questions. What started as a simple book club back in 2021 has now evolved and transformed into what we have now, a leading self-development platform for young individuals. So going into the conversation proper, I really want to know from your perspective, Edidion. You've been in Edgenexus for quite a while, and I want to know, what has your experience been like so far in Edgenexus? And can you just talk a bit on the programs and the events that we carry out in Edgenexus?
All right, thank you very much, Kelvin. For the couple of years that I've been around Edgenexus, I would say, in a nutshell, my experience has been transformative. Transformative in the sense that Edgenexus has actually changed the way I view myself, my approach towards life, and even the way I think. And as every single teenager that will be coming to Edgenexus for the first time, he or she will be coming with the mindset that, oh, I'm just coming to get information and then just go back. But I put it to you that every single event that Edgenexus, host is bent on making such teenager transformational, because it's transformed the teenager from that particular point whereby he or she found himself or herself to a point whereby he or she wants to be. And moving forward to the events and the programs that we host at Edgenexus, I would say that the programs and events are coined from the 4 core factors that Edgenexus focuses on. And these 4 factors are the factors that are actually important if any teenager wants to dive or want to scale through in life. These are purpose, leadership, creative thinking, and financial literacy. To be very honest, we live in a generation whereby a lot of people are existing, but just few people are discovering the reason why they exist. And that is what Edgenexus does. It brings to the mindset of these teenagers that purpose is not just about your occupation, neither is it about your career, but purpose is actually about what you contribute, what you add to the society. Away from purpose, Edgenexus has gone out of its comfort zone to bring to the knowledge of every single teenager that leadership is very, very important. Leadership is not just about your position, neither is it about your title. It's not even about being in the spotlight, because some people might feel that, okay, I'm in the spotlight, I'm actually leading. That is not leadership. Leadership is about responsibility. Leadership is about sacrifice. It is about discipline. And personally, I serve as the program and event coordinator for Edgenexus, and this has actually been personal for me, because in the events that we organize, people coming for this event, they're actually celebrating what they see, applauding what they see. But real leadership is built behind the scenes, where there is pressure, where there is sacrifice, discipline, as well as even the late night meetings that we have pertaining to the event. So that is it. And Edgenexus has also gone out of its way to make sure that every single teenager understands that they are creative. That creativity is not just about, it's not limited to age. Creativity is not limited to whether you are black, whether you are, fair, whether you have a particular complexion, whether you're a Nigerian or maybe you're an American, because some teenagers, they see other teenagers out there, like doing what they're like, oh my God, how can I be like, So creativity is not about that. We all have the creative ability inside of us. That's why in the just concluded series that we had for the first quarter of the year, we're talking about the creative mindset, the creative series, whereby teenagers were equipped with the basic knowledge that definitely they are actually creative. And I would like to say another core factor that Edgenexus focuses on is financial literacy. Let me put this clear to every single person out there. When we talk about financial literacy, money moves towards value. I will term value as a magnet, and I will term money as a magnetic substance. A magnetic substance is that which is attracted towards a magnet. Without a magnet, a magnetic substance cannot be attracted. So I'll say value is the magnet. and then money is the magnetic substance. Because a lot of teenagers are pursuing, money and all this thing. It won't come. Nobody will pay you for your incompetence. People actually pay you because you're bringing something to the table. So that is just it. And I will say, as I conclude, that Edgenexus, we are not just organizing events or programs to just track record. We are actually building people, and not just talented people. We are building purpose-driven people. We are building leaders, creative people, and emotionally intelligent people. Thank you.
Wow. Leadership, purpose, creative thinking, and financial literacy. If you look at life, those are basically the 4 pillars that if you get those right, they will really help you to excel in life and attain success. I have a similar question for the 2 of you here, Joanna and Kinidaramboom. I'd really want to be put in a first-person perspective of your experience in Edgenexus. So can you just break down your experience so far in Edgenexus, how Edgenexus has transformed you and shaped you over the years? So I want to hear from you, Kinidaramboom.
Okay, so I started attending Edgenexus in 2021, and I can say that my experience so far has been indeed amazing and fascinating. The changes I've noticed from myself because of Edgenexus is more internal than external. Initially, I have been a very deep thinker and observer and everything, but Edgenexus has refined me to grow in communication and self-awareness. Also, the community that Edgenexus has with friends and our coaches has really helped me to air my views and see things from other people's perspective. Edgenexus has given me confidence in my voice, and I can say that any teenager will be able to thrive if they have given the environment for them to thrive. And Edgenexus is that environment. Thank you.
Joanne, I really want to hear from you. I want to know your personal experience having been in Edgenexus for quite a while.
Okay, thank you, Kelvin. First of all, I came to Edgenexus in 2023, and the day I came, there were children there, small children. I think one of the girls that presented there, her name was Wanda, and she gave a speech or something. She was talking about her experience, and she was talking so boldly, and I was just looking at her I was like, children are like this, and I was just like, oh my God, I didn't even know what to do. But I started coming more for the event, and it helped me discover that I am a deep and creative thinker. Edgenexus has helped me to know my purpose, to choose my career properly, and to understand what my calling is. And Edgenexus has helped me to communicate with people, because normally I'm a shy talker. I'll just be talking to people that I'm already used to. But it opened the space for me to be able to speak to people. It opened the space for me to be able to communicate to people that I'm not used to people that I've never met before. So Edgenexus is a place for teenagers that are shy and they want to discover their purpose. That is the place. The community that is built for vision-driven people. Thank you.
That's beautiful. I'd love to share a bit of my personal experience having been in Edgenexus a year after it was created as the book club. So it's been a very, very interesting journey over the years. And one thing Edgenexus has really taught me about life is growth. Because where we started from and where we are now is wildly different. And I believe it's not something that happened out of circumstance or just out of chance, but it was because of the intentional steps that we actually took to make sure that this platform grew and became what it is today. So Edgenexus has really taught me the value of growth and intentional living. And I would want every single person listening to really understand that. So there's a question that is on my mind, and I want to throw it across the board. I really want you guys to talk from your own perspective and from your own view. I want to hear what you have to say. I'll start with you, Joanne. What's one thing that you think, one key concept or one lesson that you feel every teenager listening to this podcast now can take away from this episode? And in part, what's one thing that you want every parent who is listening to this now to know?
Okay, thank you, Kelvin. So first of all, As a growing teenager, as a teenager growing into an adult, you have a mindset. And if your mindset isn't shaped for positivity, you can't sail through this sea that we call life. So if you are a teenager and you have the mindset of not asking questions is more of you have strength. It's not a weakness. It's a way of evolving yourself. And if you continue to ask questions, you learn new things. Every day we learn, unlearn, and relearn. So if you're willing to learn, you're willing to unlearn, and you're willing to relearn, it helps you sail through this sea that we call life. And to our parents, thank you for making us to come out of our comfort zone. And when you see your children go through a series of change for the positive direction, please help them to understand that that is for a better perspective of their life. Help them to understand, support them, give them instruction, communicate with them, because as a parent, communicating with your children is a way of opening views that they have never seen before, they've never heard. It's a way of telling them of life that you had experienced. Communication is key for parenting and childhood. So if you have friends or you have people around you that their children are not growing positively, help them to stretch out, send their children out of their comfort zone, because it's good for them. Thank you.
All right. Can I hear your view, Kenedara?
Okay, so one thing I'll tell teenagers, because I'll tell myself this, I tell myself this every single day, is that I am the leader of tomorrow. We are in this room and one of us going to be president, governors, and commissioners. I feel that if we live our lives with the weight of that responsibility, we will turn out right. And the things I'll tell my parents: we love you, we are grateful for the opportunity you've given us to even live comfortably. But you have to understand that the adults of tomorrow are being shaped right now in the conversations you have, the patience you show, and the conversations you choose to ignore. Also, growth is not only academic. A lot of African parents, Nigerian parents, we have this mindset that I should just send my children to school and all. But growth is self-awareness, is in communication, is in emotional intelligence, and that's the platform that Edgenexus provides. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna Didion.
Okay, to every single teenager out there, I would say that when you think about success is not accidental. It's actually intentional. So I know every single person wants to be successful, but it will not just happen like magic. It's actually an intentional process. In every single thing you are doing, whether you're committing a particular month or a particular period of time in your life to, is it developing yourself personally, developing a skill, probably focusing on growth in general, be intentional about it. Intentionality is key in every single thing we are doing. It is what sets you apart from the next person. Two people can be doing the same thing, but one can be more intentional than the other. That is the difference. And to our beloved parents out there, I want to say thank you so much. And what I would like to say to our parents out there is that it is good to correct children, okay? It is best to correct children, but I would say connection is key. As Joan had said, that communication actually is key as well, but I feel our parents need to connect with their children more. Yes, you need to track their progress. Probably how they are going on academically. Yes, they can be academically sound, as you've said, but they can be emotionally lost. So you need to track their progress, how they are faring, what are they shy about, or what is that thing that puts them at that spot whereby they get scared. Because I've come to realize that most parents don't actually know about these things pertaining to their children. So that is what I would say, Kelvin.
Beautiful. I love all the contributions that everyone has made. And we've heard today about mindsets, we've heard about leadership, we've heard about intentionality. To add to everything that everyone has already said, we know that everyone, every young person, every teen, every child has potential. But if there is no direction to guide that potential is wasted, unfortunately. To share an experience that even goes across the board for everyone here, I can recount seeing all of us the first day that we came to Edgenexus, or like the first times we met. It was a couple years ago, and back then I would say we had potentials. And this is the potentials that we're actually bringing out because we were directed in the right path. And Every potential is wasted unless it is given direction and guidance. And Edgenexus is a platform that really emphasizes on directing and giving a platform to potentials. So every parent, every teenager, every student, every educator, this is an invitation to you to come and be a part of something that is going to be transformational, and it is going to change our world. So thank you so much for listening to the Edgenexus podcast. We are really, really glad and happy that you chose to tune in, and we would love to see you in our next episode. Thank you so much.